fool you again. Go on, it's on the cheap for you. Everyone's so stingy around here. Everyone's so stingy everywhere. You're my only customer. Don't make me beg. Now buy something. Run for the hills, I'm as ill as your whole team. Drove off a cliff and I landed on both feet. Will I admit that I'm done with the old me? The dirtier it gets, the more I'm feeling I'm so clean that I don't need Molly to be rolling with these changes. I'm at the library in the We call this place Medulla. Not too special if you ask me. It's just the place where everyone seems to end up. Everyone's so... You're my... Thanks.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the one time I have to agree with the hag in that in life, everyone's just stingy. But anyway, let's talk to Morgan here.
Oh, I was hoping that you would come. I've stocked some new things and I thought that you might be interested. They've been selling rather well, and I may step up operations soon. I'm surprising even myself, to be honest.
The more you buy from him, the more you help him out, stock more inventory. So you have to give him souls for him to actually start his journey here as a merchant.
Did I mention before that, well, I'm not from these parts? I was on a journey and somehow ended up here. The desolation here was disenchanting at first, but over time, things started to turn my way. Yeah, I've got a good few regulars now. They're all strangely desperate and quite willing to pay a premium. Sadly, some of them never come back, but I try not to think about it. Have you seen that warrior lugging that giant blue sword about? I'm no expert, but that appears to be a fine specimen. The monstrous thing has a peculiar design, quite unlike anything found in Volgan. If you should speak to him, would you ask him if he won't sell it? I'd have to take another look, but I'm confident I could offer quite a price. I considered returning to my homeland, but I've decided to stay a while longer. I've started to turn a handsome profit now, and I can't bear to give it up. I considered returning to... Always open?
Well, as you can see here, Moglin is... He came from his homeland, Volgan. He didn't know why. Like most people that came to Drang Lake, you're drawn to the place. You really don't know what brings you here. You just end up coming here and lose memory of why you are here and how you got here. That seems to be the reoccurring story with most NPCs in this game. I don't know why. But anyway, as you can see, I was actually just looking at the books here. This is actually a book that exists in real life, and it was shown off by From Software in once upon a time. You can Google it yourself. But anyway, as I was saying, it's kind of a play on how... Wait, before we get into that discussion, let's just talk about what's going to happen here in the basement with this skeleton. Just gonna try kill it a bit fast with whatever spells I have. Alright. Pick up human effigy. The nice thing is, if you check out the soil in this basement, you can see it's a very dark ashy sand. And these are actually remnants of the Lord Vessel. The soil is the same color as where we placed the Lord Vessel. And those are pieces of the Lord Vessel. And here you actually get a soul vessel, which allows the changing of the character. And also another thing that made me believe that this was the place where you place the Lord Vessel is that you pick up a Estus Flask shard here, and that's a remnant of the last fire. That's what I personally believe. That's where this basement actually is, which kind of makes me believe that that bonfire by Medulla is actually not the bonfire by Medulla, where the crestfallen knight sits at the top of that, at the base of that tower. That could actually be like the near where Firelink Shrine was, but everything's all withered away now. So it's quite good to see. Well, to me, it's interesting to see how Firelink Shrine and the altar have changed over time, and whether this is the future alternate universe is what I'm still trying to dictate to myself right now, because I still have this belief that this is the future of Lordran, but in itself is an alternate timeline of what could have happened with different beings with different names and different situations, but all leading up to the same problems. So, I don't know.
You, stand back. This is dangerous work. The name's Lenigrast, just a simple blacksmith. And you are... another useless traveler. A man ought to labor with his feet planted firmly in the earth. Not roam around like you flirtatious vagabonds.
And this is when I was...
What does it matter?
This was when I was assaulted by the pigs of death. Oh my goodness. These guys, I remember the first time I played this game, I did not even know what to do with these guys because I was scared to kill them, thinking that they would be important to the game because they aggro you in a place with NPCs that are important to the game. So I was like, maybe these things are part of the story. And not really. The only thing they're useful for is something we'll do later on in the game when it comes down to getting the pickaxe. But besides that, they're not really important, I would believe. They have a small chance to spawn babies. And yeah.
You again? Can't you see?
Lenigrast will give us our first big damage item of this entire playthrough. This is why I called this particular episode the extreme damage best Pursuar kill episode. You are going to see what this rapier is going to do. It's like we've been playing around with the broken straight sword. I'm happy with the broken straight sword. I just believe that my buff level at the current moment is very, very, very low. I don't get that much damage out my buffs, and you may argue this will be the same thing with the rapier, but not really to that regard, because I'm going to level up my dex enough to use the rapier.
Is that a shard you found? Here, let me see it, so that I may help you to see light, to see hope, however faint it might be.
You may argue that's the same thing that's going to happen with the rapier, but that's not really the case because, like I was saying, the buff placer is not as high as it could be, but it's reasonable. The rapier will allow me to attack faster with piercing attacks that do good counter damage. And I personally believe that the rapier is a good option for now. I'm not sure what weapon I'll finalize with in this build. Maybe the Espada Ropera, I'm not so sure, but I'm definitely sure that I'll be using the rapier for a long time. Maybe even power stance 2 rapiers. That could be an option. I decided to use the Soul of the Last Giant here because I don't think I'll craft any weapon from it that I actually want on this particular character, and I don't think I need it. I just needed the souls to level up. I think I made the mistake of not upgrading the rapier though, because I did get some titanite. I think I wasn't so sure whether I would really like it or not, because I hadn't used it as of now in this particular playthrough, so I wasn't sure if I would really like the feel on such a low health character. Low poise, low health, and the such. So I could now use the small leather shield. I can finally have a shield. I can finally have a good damage weapon. And this is when things started really picking up for me in this particular episode. Because usually it would take about maybe 3 or 4 hits with dark weapon on my broken straight sword to actually kill one normal hollow soldier. But as we go on, we're gonna see just how much damage I'll be able to inflict. I was thinking to myself whether I need more cast attunements for cast slots or something else, and then I realized that even if I put 3 points into attunement, I still won't get a slot, so I decided to opt for more faith, which should help my Dark Orb do more damage. Maybe people were confused as to why my Dark Orb is doing so little damage right now. Why is the Great Soul Arrow doing way more damage? The thing is, at the current moment, my intelligence is way above my faith, and also Great Soul Arrow only scales with intelligence, so it's it's benefiting the maximum out of my intelligence right now. It's getting my intelligence is my highest stat, and luckily enough, that's where it derives its damage from. So it's really getting the maximum benefit. But the Dark Orb, on the other hand, scales with both my faith and my intelligence. And like I said, my faith is lower than my intelligence and is not as high as I would like it to be. So also my Dark Weapon should get better as time goes on. So like I say, if something is either reduced or increased by 2 things, that means it takes twice as much work to make it effective. As you can see, I am able to 2-shot, in essence overkill these guys with this rapier. It's unupgraded, I have base stats, it's really good, I'm 2-handing it as well. And I'm seeing the potential of me dual-wielding two such rapiers out with the stone ring. I'll do a lot of poise damage, and I'll do a lot of damage with maybe like pine resin on my left hand and dark weapon on my other hand. That's a good amount of extra buff damage. Now now you're gonna see one reason why I always opt for good armor and not playing late at night. I'm gonna get stun locked to oblivion this time round. Oh man. This one thing's got a bit bad. Is that foreshadowing? Is that foreshadowing? Well, I think you guys know me way too well. I do die. Even when I died at this particular point, I was just like, oh, that was so sloppy, I could have just rolled away. But then I wasn't thinking. It's not even like I panicked. My mind just fell asleep. I was just like, what's gonna happen? I was like this guy who couldn't even think. But I'm really, really impressed with the amount of damage I'm doing now. It's like once you go for the first few hours of the game, with the dagger and the broken sword, you really feel that you have to put in a lot of work. But now I really feel strong. What I need to do though in this build, I believe, is get some effective armor. Right now my effective armor is very low. All the hits I'm taking are not being reduced by that much. That's why I'm dying extremely fast. And of course I don't have that much HP on this character, hence why my health pool is so low. But besides that, it's really feeling good. Like I said, I have done very few caster builds. On this channel, there should be one caster build that I started on Souls Day Rekindled, but the initial Souls Day that got me recording for YouTube, or the main reason I started YouTube, like when I first started playing. It wasn't the first time, but when I first started recording Dark Souls. That was my strength build. I think on that build I went something akin to I think it was 40-30 or was it 40-40? I'm not sure, but all I know is that I was using the Demon's Great Hammer on that build, and I was really liking it though, because if I two-handed the Demon Great Hammer and I did the strong attack, in most PvP matches, even though it's really hard to land, I was guaranteed to deal about 1,200 damage on most medium armor or low armor units. It was a lot of damage. But besides that, most of my builds are quality builds, 40-40. Like I said, I like to use all kinds of weapons in the game. And then that's why I hardly do any caster builds, and I'm not good with any caster builds because I don't have that much experience. As you can see, I'm struggling right now against no more hollow soldiers. Partly to blame that I was also tired, but anyway, enough excuses and more on the game itself. Been busy quite a bit, like I've said. I haven't been able to upload lots of Dark Souls videos over the past because I'd been working on some other videos. The things that I'm interested in series continues. I was talking about Final Fantasy 13 and how it's going to be coming to PC, and I'm going to be playing it. Talking about Metal Gear, talking about Dota 2, the new patch, the changes, etc. Talking about Ultra Street Fighter 4 and Omega Street Fighter 4, the patch that will be coming out soon. Definitely I'll be playing Omega Street Fighter 4. That's when I'll start recording again my fighting games. But it's it's quite interesting. I'm gonna be having a lot of work to do. In terms of just putting out content for this YouTube channel, and I know there are not many people who are subscribed as compared to others, of course. But for those of you who are here and those of you who are watching, I do promise a lot more to come. I'm trying to shy away from long videos. I know most of my Dark Souls videos, and especially my Castlevania videos, were venturing into that 50-minute to 1 hour 10-minute mark. And I understand that's long, that's like a movie. The reason why I did those style type videos is because I enjoy the concept of, let's just say I put up a video of me doing this Forest of the Fallen Giants, the entire thing, it's 1 hour long. I enjoy the concept of someone maybe waking up in the morning and watching the first 20 minutes before they go to work or they go to school. And then when they're done with school, they can come back and watch the last 30 minutes. And then maybe before they go to bed, they can see how it ends. But I understand it's not really effective in terms of time, because some people might not have time to return and finish off your video. But that's how I enjoyed watching most YouTube playthroughs and etc. from the likes of Epic Name Bro or something. You just watch a bit now, watch a bit later, and finish off whenever you can. That's just how I like to do it. It's easier in the sense that as the provider of the content, at least if the video is long, it kind of covers like 2 videos worth of time, and you don't have to put out a video day after day, because one video is long enough to sustain 2 or 3 days. It's quite decent. I remember this place from the E3 footage back in the day when the game was like first revealed. It was so awesome. The funny thing is, even though after the things were changed, this place really looks good. I wished it was I wish there was one more Turtle Night though. The reason why I say this, and I'm not counting New Game Plus and onwards, I'm just saying in normal New Game, I wish there was one more Turtle Night who aggroed in the beginning like the first one, such that this place feels more crowded. Because right now, since the place isn't as dark as it was supposed to be, you kind of get this sense of how much space you have to work with, and it's no longer as clustered as you think it actually is. So this particular room is really well designed. I like it so much, and the lighting effects, and when you walk in without a light, and when you walk out when there is a light, it's really quite amazing. And I'm sorry for those who haven't noticed, this is post-commentary, of course. I recorded this gameplay footage the day before I'm doing this actual commentary on the video itself. The reason being, when I made the gameplay, I hadn't played Dark Souls for quite some time. I think the last video was maybe close to 2 weeks before. So I don't know. I just didn't know what I would say during the playthrough. I guess I just didn't have any topics to discuss. I thought to myself, since it's late at night, let me just record this, and then on the next day, hopefully when I'm feeling fresh and I've slept, I will be able to at least just talk over the video and not let people die of boredom. But that's pretty much it. I was actually having a debate to myself with this build. I know for a fact I'll have a buff on the weapon. I'm not sure which buff I'll stick with, but for now Dark Weapon seems to be okay. I need, of course, Resonant Soul is where I would like to end up. And like my other option for a buff would be Resonant Weapon, but I'm not too sure about that. I know for a fact I need to have some form of Soul Arrow, Soul Spear, hopefully the most damaging I can find. And I wouldn't really want the Sorcerer build to become a melee buff build. That's what I'm trying to shy away from. Hence why I only want one buff. With one buff in the form of Resonant or Dark Weapon, I'll stick my Catalyst on my left hand to buff my right hand weapon. And then, like I said, this will be a Pyro Hex build. I'll have my Pyromancy on my right hand. Now my Pyromancy, I personally just want to have Great Combustion and Great Fireball. Those will be my two projectiles, and if not those two, then maybe just, depending on my attunement slots, then maybe just Great Combustion and Forbidden Sun. But also, the buff that will be on my pyro will be the flame weapon. That way I can have both weapons buffed without having to buy any resins. I honestly don't know if it will pull through. Honestly don't know if this build will be good. Right now, I'm really struggling with it because, like I said, lack of poise, lack of HP, just general lack of survivability. It's killing me. But we're making it through. Hopefully in the next episode I should do some housekeeping tasks. I need to... Ooh, big hit by the Turtle Knight. I need to find a way... Not find a way, but I need to go and get a certain ring. This ring should help us increase our cast times, but I'm not sure if I'll do it next episode or the next one, by fighting the Skeleton Kings in the Huntsman's Copse. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe that I'll save for a bit later. I just need to get a few levels up and get a better armor set than what I have right now. This is just not good enough. I like the look of the warrior set though. That's why I got it. I didn't want to stick with the original sorcerer set because that literally has close to no resistances at all. It's really weak. So I decided to get the warrior set because I think of all the starting armor sets, it has to be the heaviest and it has to have the most physical resistance. I'm not sure between it and the knight set, but the knight set, this is me judging by just looks alone. If you look at the knight set, really it doesn't have that much, like the design of it has a lot of leather armor but no actual chainmail or metal. But this one seems to have a lot of metal and chainmail on it. So when I first saw them in the beginning, I instantly said to myself, the warrior has to have more physical defense resistances than the knight set, just by plain looks and plain sight. That was just my take on it. So now that we did this part, we just did it to clear out the area. I think I decided to go fight the Pursuar now. I think that was what I was thinking at this time. But I'm not sure if I did anything. No, I didn't do anything in between. I think I just ran straight to the Pursuar. Almost died along the way. But we made it there, I think. It's funny though, the first time I played this game, this Forest of the Fallen Giants seemed much longer. Or maybe I missed stuff. I don't know. If anyone thinks that I missed anything, please point it out. I don't know. Because for some reason, I spent a lot more time here than in the first time I played this game than I ever did like now. Or when I was practicing doing a sorcerer build before I started recording. See the big damage, 444 on 2 hits. Someone might say 444, that's not as big as 1,000 or something like that. You have to understand that I think I'm still soul level 20 something. And that's 444 on 2 hits. If we were to ignore resistances, most people or most players usually have about on a range of 1,000, maybe 1,500, depending. Of course, some people have glass cannon builds, but on average, 1,500 HP or life to about 2,000, depending. Some gouge builds will have more than 2,000, but those are not so many. And if I'm doing 444, that's a significant amount at such a very low level. I'm trying to figure out what my damage would be when I reach soul level 150 with not maxed out, but with a lot of intelligence and a lot of faith and a lot of whatever my primary weapon will become. Like I said, I still don't know till now. But anyway, we now prepare for the Pursuar boss. Let's see how I did tackle this guy. Okay, buff the weapon, walk in the fog gate. I love the way the Pursuar's dropped off by a bird, just like how It's like the reoccurring theme of birds transporting people is really used up a lot by From Software's material. Like I said, in Dark Souls 1, you're carried off by a bird to get out of the undead asylum. In this game, you'll be carried off, you're carried off by many things, not just birds. So, I don't know. It seems to be a reoccurring thing. The Pursuar is really dangerous. I've always shown this guy maximum respect. Reason why I say so is that his patterns are very methodical, but it's like he has more than just one combo. You know what I mean? He has a varied amount of combos that have different ranges, so he can mix it up on you. And if you're like me and you don't know his patterns, you can really get screwed over. But like I said, this is the epic Pursuar kill, and it begins right now. That's actually the first time in my life ever getting that easy Pursuar kill. Most of the time I try set him up for those ballistas, but I either take too long and miss the shot, or I take too long and he comes and smashes the ballista and hitting me off it at the same time. But yeah, I don't know. If I never got that ballista hit, because I was thinking to myself, this is a do or die moment. If I never got that ballista hit, I don't know if I would have been able to kill him on the first time. So yeah. We are making it slowly down here to the Drying Lake armor, I think. Yeah, and I will be... Actually, this is the armor I decided to pick up for now. I think it should have more resistances overall, and it actually has 28 poise. That's really good. We were poiseless in the beginning, and the boots have 12 poise as well. So that should be what, 28 plus 12, 40 poise in general, which is decent. Most of the hollows in this game shouldn't deal more than 40 poise damage, especially the hollow soldiers. Now, only a few will become a threat to us indeed. But for some reason, I think for the whole general aesthetic, I think I wanted to roll a bit fast. I wanted to reduce my equipment load for some odd reason. So I think I removed the boots. So I'll be just chilling on 28 poise for now. And also, I just wanted a more aesthetic look for now. Me being me, of course. Nope, those don't look good. Decided to remove. Go barefoot, barehanded. I should say barefoot and bare-fisted. There's nothing good to wear on the top as well. I decided against that. And we are going. Oh, anyway guys. Hopefully in the next episode I'll know what to do, whether to do the Lost Bastille or to go to Huntsman's Copse. But until that time, thanks for watching. I will see you another time.